So in this video, we're going to take a look at area of a trapezoid. Trapezoid is kind of a funky shape. It's a quadrilateral, so it has four sides, and it has two parallel sides, which we call the bases. Often they are the top and bottom of the shape, but not always. Sometimes the trapezoid is sideways and your two parallel sides run this way, but those are still considered the bases. And then the height is the distance between those two bases, and it runs perpendicular to the bases. So no matter how a trapezoid might look, the two sides that are parallel are the bases. As a last resort, you can always just turn your paper around so that it looks like the bases are the top and the bottom. So what I want to do is illustrate where the formula for area of a trapezoid comes from. So I took the trapezoid from the previous slide and I have folded it along the middle, so to speak, and I folded it. Then what I did was I cut that in half by cutting along the fold. So now I have two pieces that make up this trapezoid. So in the video clip that is on this slide, I took the two pieces of the trapezoid and created a parallelogram with those two pieces. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the formula for area of a parallelogram, which is base times height, and I'm going to use that idea to find the area of this trapezoid. Since I have made it into a parallelogram, it's now easier to work with. So let's take a look at this parallelogram that I made from the trapezoid. It has a very long base, and its base is in fact the sum of the two bases from the trapezoid. So if I take my area formula here, I am now going to find the area of that parallelogram. But the base of that parallelogram is base 1 plus base 2 from the trapezoid. So I'm going to add those together. The height of my parallelogram is half the height of the trapezoid. So then this is times a half the original height. So then the way you will see this when you see area of a trapezoid formulas is you'll see 1/2 times the height, and this base 1 plus base 2 will be written this way. They'll have base sub 1 plus base sub 2, which basically means base 1 plus base 2. So that is your formula for a trapezoid. All right, we have a couple examples here, and what I did was I rewrote the formula for the trapezoid up here. So I have area equals 1/2 of the height times the sum of the bases. So we're going to do these two examples with this. Now, both of these are not what people would consider normal looking trapezoids. The first example, the two slanted sides are not the same, but that's okay, because you still have your parallel bases. So these are your bases because they are the parallel sides. And then this one right here is your height because it's the distance between the bases and it's perpendicular to them. So when we do the area, we're going to take 1/2 times 5. And then our two bases, we're going to add them together. So 8 plus 12. So 1/2 of 5 is 2.5. And 8 plus 12 is 20. And when we multiply these, we get 50. And because it's area, it is square centimeters. All right, let's take a look at this other one. Again, not your quote-unquote normal looking trapezoid, but we do have the two parallel sides. These are your two bases. And the distance between our bases is this 15. So yes, your height can actually be one of the sides of the trapezoid. It always throws people off a little bit. So I have 1/2 times 15, and then the sum of my bases, so 9 plus 20. 1/2 of 15, or 1/2 times 15 over 1, would be 15 over 2, and 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. 9 plus 20 is 29. And when I multiplied those, sorry, I had to go get my calculator, I have 217.5, and that's square meters.